Now, as some of you may have heard, there's this little movie called Star Wars Episode 9 coming out later
What's it
this year.
about, dude?
I can't tell you that because I simply do not know, as I don't think really anybody knows. But
There's been 9 of them?
there's been 8 so far. Actually, there's been 10 so far. Well, depending on if you count certain things and TV, movies, and whatnot. But
Confusing.
there is a prominent Star Wars website called Making Star Wars. And a lot of you who are hardcore Star Wars fans, you're very familiar with their work. They're a really good site. Anyway, Making Star Wars today revealed that they have what they're calling the first artwork, promotional artwork for Star Wars Episode 9. And they put up the following on Making Star Wars. And you can see it here that this is now, there's a couple of interesting things in this poster. You see beside, just below Chewbacca and to his left, there's the girl in purple. Apparently that's Kerry Russell's character. We, of course, see the Knights of Ren. Of course, a whole bunch of ships flying around. One of the more interesting things in this is that you got C-3PO sporting Chewbacca's bandolier and bowcaster, which is okay. Not something I thought I was going to see today. And also included in their collection of art that they were putting out was what they're saying is the first look at Lando. Rocking a badass walking cane. I don't know. There's something so slick about a dude with a walking cane. I don't know, whatever. I think I love it.
He looks badass.
He looks great. He looks like Lando. I mean, that's exactly what I would picture Lando looking like at this point. Now, one thing I will say about this particular... Now, whether we don't have any 100% guarantees that this art is real. Also, even if it is real, there's nothing that says that this artwork is going to be like the official poster. I will tell you right now, I hate this. I hate it. And I'll tell you, I hate it for the same reason that I did not like the poster for The Force Awakens. Because what it looks like, and let me just pull up the full one again here just for a second. There's about, I'm just taking a guess off the top of my head. I'm going to guess 40 people in this poster. I'm just taking a wild guess. If you count all the various stormtroopers, characters, Knights of Ren, aliens, masked figures, whatever. To me, it just feels like they went, hey, we need a poster. And they go, okay. And they leaned over and vomited every character, every ship, everything onto a poster. It's like, oh, there, it's all there. Done. I hate that. I hate that approach that not just Star Wars, but a bunch of posters for a bunch of movie franchises have kind of been engaging. It's like, there's literally about 40 people, like 40 people on this poster. So anyway, even if this is legit, it's probably not the final official artwork or anything like that. But if it is real, a couple interesting things here. We've all speculated that the Knights of Ren are probably going to play a role in this film. If this poster is to be believed, it looks like that's been kind of confirmed as we see the Knights of Ren beside Kylo. We've heard talk about the red stormtroopers, and apparently that's what we've got. If you look at the bottom poster, we've got Kylo with his white stormtroopers, and then there's the red stormtroopers, who I believe I heard are supposed to report to like they are the foot soldiers of the Knights of Ren, if I heard that right, but I don't know. That could be, it could not be. So I don't know, Rob, you see this. Number one, do you think this is real stuff? Number two, if it is, what are your thoughts on it?
It looks pretty legit, but as a long-time movie poster collector, movie posters in my mind should mythologize the movies that they're... When you see a great piece of key art, it should make you feel, looking at the key art, the way the movie itself makes you feel overall. And if you look at the first Star Wars one sheet with Luke holding up the lightsaber, and then that Empire Strikes Back, they call it the Gone with the Wind poster, where Han and Leia are kissing. Those are movie posters. Yeah. You know, those are fantastical compositions. They're beautifully painted artwork. These are just, you know, these variations on Photoshop technique. And I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this poster. What it makes me feel, like you said, is just busy. You know, that there's a lot of stuff happening, but there's no point of view. You know, it's not eliciting a feeling in me when I see great, like the great poster art of yore. I mean, just as an example, look at a Disney poster from 1990, The Rocketeer. It was a
Right.
simple Art Deco image of the Rocketeer blasting off basically at a 45-degree angle with all of this sort of Art Deco, like some building facade behind him, and it just said the Rocketeer. Everything you needed to know about the movie was contained in that original image. And this idea of pictures, I mean, Simpson Bruckheimer sort of popularized it in the 80s with movie posters for like Beverly Hills Cop and Flashdance, where it's just photographs of the protagonists kind of looking at the camera. And this is just a mess, dude. It doesn't get me excited. It just makes me tired to look at it.
It makes me tired to look at. Look, and I think, look, even if this is real, right? I highly doubt we're 9 months away from the movie. I highly doubt this is final poster art. Like,
Sure.
This is probably some image, if legit. It's probably some image they use for, inside industry trade, trades promo or anything like that. This is probably not something that is meant to be the big promotion for the film. And look, I have no doubt. I'm really looking forward. I love what JJ did with The Force Awakens. I love that movie. But, and I'm sure he's going to give us something great with Star Wars come December. I'm just simply talking about this whole concept. Because they use this type of concept for The Force Awakens with the just vomit every single character onto the page. And there's our poster. Done. I hate that approach. I hate it.
If this was just an image, a tall image of C-3PO, like a bust with Chewbacca's bandolier and him holding up the bowcaster, and all it said on the poster was "The rebellion continues."
Oh,
I mean, that's it. That's all you have to show us. Episode 9, or the rebellion isn't over, and that's all it said. And it's C-3PO with that boat. People would go bananas. You'd be like, "Oh my god!" And it just shows. It shows to me that the marketing departments of these studios, it's all done by committee. There's like 100 people that sign off on this and probably give notes. I know people that work in the movie poster business. I mean, you think back, I think back to like the Lord of the Rings, and the first preview the teaser poster for Lord of the Rings was literally, there were two. It was Frodo, all sort of darkened, and he's holding his hand up like this, and he's looking down, and there's the Ring of Power in his hand, and that's all it was. And there was one where he's looking down and one where he's looking up at the camera, and that's all it was. And people lost their minds. That's all you need to see. It's sometimes the simplest images that get us the most excited, like C-3PO with a bandolier and Chewbacca's bowcaster. I mean, come on. That's what we've been wanting. He's going to bust out with that weapon. I mean, I want to see that. If he goes all Rocket Raccoon with Chewbacca's bowcaster, if that's in the trailer, I'm going to lose my mind.
Now, again, let's keep in mind that this is not the released promotional art.
Right,
This is not the official poster. This is not any of that. I just hope it's not a sign of things to come, because, look, like I said, trailer's a trailer, a poster's a poster, a title's a title. None of them make a movie better. And that's fine. So I understand we are just talking about this. I just hope this is not a continuation of what JJ did with his posters in the first film that he directed, because I hated that poster. And I'd like to see something.
You guys liked the Endgame poster, didn't you?
Well, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I really prefer
I thought you liked it.
a more mythic. Look, I like it, but I want it just because I love all those characters. But I think a poster should be mythic. The image should be mythic. You want to put it on your wall, because I grew up with movie posters all over my walls, and I only bought my favorite ones. And you want these posters to, like, you look at them and you just think in your mind, like, oh my God, that's badass. Every time you look at it, this poster, I'm just like, it's indistinguishable from the Force Awakens poster.
Seems like everybody's doing their own little thing. Like they're all going on their own journey in that poster, in the Star Wars one. But also, movie poster artists need people like you, Rob, who can recall posters from all decades of time. Like, well, I mean, it's actually fantastic.
What's happening is we have all these talented artists. If you talk to anybody, this is what's called key art, and it is all done by committee. And this idea that you have to do this, what's called a star cell. Let's put everybody's picture on the poster. I mean, within, they should do what they're doing with Infinity War. I mean, with Endgame, and just show like an empty an empty plane, or something. Just tell us what they're like, what they're doing with the trailers. Do that with the posters. Make them intriguing.
See, now there is a fundamental difference between, like, say, for instance, the Star Wars poster, and there's two fundamental differences between the Star Wars poster and the Endgame poster. The Endgame poster, at least it looks like there's artistic consideration and everything. There's a particular color scheme to the poster.
Right.
It also only has, I don't know what I'm gonna take a wild guess here at 12 characters. I'm not gonna sit here and well, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 characters, right? And that's too many. And generally speaking, I mean, as a piece of art, this is a nice piece of art. Would I like it a little less busy? Yes. Now, but you contrast this with this that has about 40 individuals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaceships, 3 robots, with no coherency to the image at all, other than just a bunch of kids who photoshopped and know how to use transparency layers on Photoshops and just slap all these images together. But again, I don't want to get too worked up about it because there is a 99.99% chance this is not the actual art of the movie. This is probably just, like I said, something for inside industry, maybe even inter-office.
Or celebration.
Or Celebration, something like. But I gotta believe they'll come up with something better at Celebration. The other reason I think this is not for Celebration is because once again in this it just says Star Wars. It doesn't have the title, and I totally 100% believe they're going to drop the title at Star Wars. So I believe they're going to give out some posters. But do you remember the poster they gave out at the last Celebration? The poster they gave out the last Celebration when they showed the first trailer for The Last Jedi. And think what you will about The Last Jedi. That's fine. But at that moment in time, they had that great poster where it's Rey down at the bottom with the lightsaber and the light goes straight up through the poster, and he had Luke and Kylo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful piece of art. And I'm hoping they have something like that in store for us.